signed my contract, before I headed out to work, I opened 5 short notice bookings just to see, hey, maybe someone wants a lesson with me. Because of all the things that I watched on YouTube, I really didn't expect anybody to pick it up, but I had to try. So I opened the short notice bookings, and lo and behold, I get a notification in the middle of the day that Amber has signed up for a class. I have my first class. I'm so excited and terrified at the same time, because 5 minutes after that, I received another notification that said that Amber had signed up for 2 classes. Now, since I filled those out before I went to work, I was not in a place to prep. And being that early on, I really felt like I needed an hour to prep for a 24, 25, 26 minute class. And so the pressure was on. Luckily, it was the last day of school at the brick and mortar school. So I rushed home at the end of the day and dug in deep for Amber. After Amber's class, I gave some really good feedback, and the next day I got a notification that Amber's second class had been canceled. Now, I don't know if it was canceled because of my lack of experience, which I would say there was a lack of experience, or anything else. After the class on the 24th, on the 25th, and the 26th, I had no bookings. And at that time, I had my schedule open from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The following week, the week of the 27th through June 2nd, I started getting a few trial classes. In that week, I had 5 trial classes. Of those 5 trial classes, only 1 student actually came to the class. So I got half pay for those classes, but I sat there happily and collected my money. Also during that week, I had 3 major courses, and I worked to be certified in levels 4 and 5. Because when I watched the previews, level 4 and 5 seemed like a more comfortable fit for me. You know, I've talked to you before about my struggles and all the and with the level 4 and 5s, I've been able to tone down and be more comfortable in the classroom. I think that may have been what happened with Amber. I had not figured out how to marry VIPKID energy with Teacher Nikki life. The two weren't meshing. I think I've gotten better, but I'm not sure. I had 4 classes during June 3rd through 9th. It was when I had 3 students that have since become my regulars. It seems as though all my regulars are levels 3, 4, and 5. Still working on that energy for level 2. But in that time, you know, I had my first difficult student, or who was defined as a difficult student. And so I just prepared like I would for any other student that needs a little extra support. Also during this week was the first time that I experienced what I just call a genius student. He was a lot of fun because he knew the expectation. He was ready to work towards the expectation. And so it gave me a little wiggle room to have fun with the student, because that seems to be my favorite thing, is just to have fun with the student. They have to be there. Why not be something that's enjoyable for them? On June 8th, 2019, I got my first feedback. It was 5 apples. It was a great day. because up to that point I had been teaching and no feedback, no feedback. But I also had in mind that if my class wasn't that great, or if they didn't think it was that great, I didn't want them giving me anything less than a 5. So if they were happy with it, I wanted my 5. 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, yeah, just don't book me again. Don't do that. Since then, I have had 6 feedbacks, and all of them have been 5 apple. I am aware that I might not always get 5 apple, and I'm okay with that. But I do believe in every class that I'm giving it my best, and I'm learning with each class. And so it's just a part of it. I don't want to get hung up on the feedbacks, but I'm a teacher. I want the feedback. I want 5 apples. I want 5 apples all the time, and I don't want any teacher IT problems. Every time I talk about that teacher IT problem, it stings just a little bit. But they didn't leave me feedback, which I don't really know if they're allowed to if the class is canceled. But either way, I don't want that feedback. So good feedback, yay. Other feedback, no thanks. So the week of June 3rd through the 9th, I had 6 students. Of those 6 students, 3 of them have become my regulars or repeat students. The week of June 10th through 16th, I had 4 students. I had 0 trial classes, and all of my students were level 4 and 5. I did pick up an additional 2 repeat students for that week. A couple of them are actually on my schedule for this week. So at this point, I had a classroom that I was comfortable in. It just took time. The week of June 17th through 23rd, I only had 1 student. I had my schedule blocked on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd because I was attending the Model Schools Conference in Washington, D.C. And while I was there, I gave all my energy to brick and mortar business, so no classes. I just had my 1 repeat right before I left to board the plane. I had the difficult student that I had the week before. This was his first repeat, and he did not disappoint. I got my first teacher IT problem. It was terrible. I had already stayed up till 10:30 to teach the lesson. Open the classroom. There's a cute little girl. I'm ready. Props ready. Fun things ready. And I can't hear her. And she can't figure out what to do. So I call the fireman. The fireman came in. I was kicked out of the classroom and could not find my way back in. It kept saying, the fireman is working, the fireman is working, the fireman is solving the solution, the fireman is working, the fireman is working, and all the while, the screen is not the classroom screen. When it finally does switch over to the classroom screen, the fireman has canceled the class because of a teacher IT problem. I was so upset because I was up, I was ready, I was prepped. I could see her. I could not hear her. Thinking back on it now, it may have been an issue where she just needed to unmute something. And in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have called the fireman. But my first experience with the fireman has left me feeling like it's going to have to be some bad things happening before I'm calling them, because my screen completely changed. It turned into something that I didn't know VIPKID could do. And I did send in a ticket, and I sent in screenshots, and I even sent clips of the video to show that it wasn't my problem. But VIPKID did decide that on June 17th, 2019, I got my first teacher IT problem. I participate in the Hutong. I collect tokens. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them, but I have learned a lot of interesting factoids and tips for new teachers and upcoming teachers through the Hutong. So I suggest everyone, get in there and see what it is you can do. I have not linked it to any of my social media. I'm not exactly sure why, but it doesn't feel like what I want to do. If I change my mind later on, I'll let y'all know. So far in the Hutong, I have earned 465 tokens. That makes me in 17,000th place, which is nowhere near the top, but this is my first month, and I am more collecting them so that I can buy some of the cute things from the exchange. The top things that I would like to use my tickets for are a VIPKID sweatshirt and a Mike and Meg puppet. Even though most of my classes have been level 4 and level 5, and Meg and Mike are kind of lame at that point, but I want them. Because every now and then I get a student like my regular who likes to play. And if Mike is saying something, she would like to see Mike. Right now, I have 2D Mike. I can't wait until the month when I can show you that I actually have 3D props for Meg and Mike and Dino. If you have found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to know more about my VIPKID journey as it continues, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions for me or suggestions for me, please let me know in the comments below. I had fun sharing with you today. I hope to see you in the classroom again. Bye.